If your hotel is still wrestling with rate disparities that drain revenue across your channels, you're far from being alone. Research consistently ranks this among the top 3 challenges for both global chains and independents. And yet, the majority of hoteliers are still relying on manual monitoring, spending hours each week with little real insight into who's causing the discounts and why. Here's the part that surprises most people. Up to 80% of those issues are actually within your control. I know that sounds optimistic, perhaps even unrealistic, but after working with thousands of hotels worldwide, I can tell you with confidence it is possible. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through what you can control, what you can't, and a practical way to plug the leaks that are costing you bookings and weakening your pricing strategy. Let's start with why this matters more than ever. Calibri Labs found that maintaining proper rate control can deliver a 12% lift in net revenue per available room. That's not just operational neatness, that's real money on the table. When they analyzed 67,000 availability searches across different segments, conversion rates were 56% higher when direct prices were equal to or lower than the big OTAs. Think about that. More than half of your potential direct business could be walking away because of unauthorized discrepancies you may not even be aware of. Now, let's clear up a common misunderstanding. Rate control doesn't necessarily mean rate parity. In many markets, you have the flexibility and indeed the obligation to offer advantages on your direct channel. The goal is not matching every OTA rate. The goal is controlling your distribution according to your strategy. Whether you're operating under wide parity, narrow parity, or no parity requirements at all, the fundamental challenge remains the same: rate leakage that undermines your good intentions. Now, let's begin with the areas you can control. The first is your own rate planning and system updates. Misalignments here are by far the most common and the most frustrating because they're entirely preventable. Picture this: your PMS carries a Deluxe King early bird rate, your channel manager maps it only as Deluxe King, and your OTA extranet shows it as King Room Special. Same product, 3 different names. The result: your systems interpret them as different rates, and you've created discrepancies without even knowing it. Room types cause a similar headache: a superior double in your PMS, a deluxe twin in your channel manager, and a standard room with 2 beds and an OTA. Now, even if the pricing is aligned, the mismatch creates apparent differences that confuses both your systems and your guests. And it doesn't stop there. When a corporate rate is active in your PMS but hasn't been mirrored correctly in your channel manager, say, or a promo is still available in one OTA extranet but not another, you've built in unintentional disparities. The issue here isn't technology per se, it's about ensuring your foundations are aligned consistently across every platform you use. The second controllable area is your tech stack integration. Your PMS, channel manager, revenue management system, if you have one, booking engine, must speak to each other in real time. If they don't, cracks appear. Imagine your RMS pushes a rate recommendation, but it takes hours to filter through PMS to the channel manager and then doesn't reach your booking engine at all. That lag alone creates gaps where OTAs can look more competitive than your own website. Integration is not just about connection, it's about bidirectional flow in real time. The booking engine is especially critical. This is where you want your best positioning to show, after all. Yet it's often where rates fall out of sync. If your engine is pulling outdated rates or sourcing from the wrong system entirely, you've undermined your direct strategy before the guest even compares. The third element is you can control pricing across your contracted channels. Whether you're working under parity regulations or using your freedom to give direct advantages, the consistency of your contracted OTA rate should never be accidental. When rates drift here, it's rarely external manipulation. It's usually internal slippage in processes or execution. And finally, promotional rates, a classic trap if there's one. For example, running a flash sale on an OTA, say a weekend promotion, but never fully closing it. The result is your PMS and the brand side are back to standard pricing, but the OTA continues to show the discounted rate. That's a double hit. You take less margin on the OTA booking and lose direct business because the OTA looks cheaper. With clear processes, defined start dates, end dates, and closure steps, this one is entirely preventable. Now let's be honest and turn to the more hidden challenges and the ones beyond your direct control. Now, wholesale leakage, we're all familiar with, is one of the biggest. You agree a wholesale rate for packaging, say a $65 rate against a $100 best available rate. Instead of packaging it, that wholesaler resells it to another middleman at $68, who passes it on to a small OTA at $72. And suddenly your room is online at $85, undercutting your bar of 100. You only see $65, the guest thinks they've outsmarted you, and your brand has lost credibility. Then there are unauthorized reseller networks, coupon codes, cashback offers, affiliate chains that make your $100 rate appear at $80 or less. The booking might still come through a legitimate OTA, but the guest has been promised a rebate you never authorized. Rate integrity goes out of the window. Even your contracted OTAs engage in what I'll call gaming tactics. Mobile only discounts that suddenly make your best available rate look inflated, flash promotions you never approved, price matching against leaked wholesale rates you never agreed to, last minute dumping that damages your brand positioning, loyalty discounts that build their membership base, not yours, off your own inventory. All of these erode the strategy you planned. And for international operators, currency conversion discrepancies add another wrinkle to the chain. Your PMS sets the rate correctly, but OTAs apply their own exchange rates, sometimes cached, sometimes live, creating differences outside your control. The guest sees a lower converted rate and assumes you're overpriced. Right, so what can you actually do about all this? Here are 5 do's and 5 don'ts you should act on immediately. Do audit your rate plan and room type setup. Start with the fundamentals. Make sure your rate plan names and room type descriptions are identical across your PMS, channel manager, and every OTA extranet. Map every rate plan and every room type, line by line. This simple discipline, although quite boring, removes the single biggest cause of unintentional rate differences. Second one, be you should implement complete technology stack integration. Your PMS, your channel manager, RMS if you have one, and booking engine need to talk to each other in real time. When these systems are unsynced, bidirectionally, you create gaps. Real time integration ensures your intended strategy actually makes it to every channel without delay or distortion. Do invest in comprehensive rate monitoring tools. You can't fix what you can't see or you've spotted. Use tools like RateGain's Parity Plus or Lighthouse that act like real guests running test reservations and showing you the final bookable rate, not just what's listed. Alerts let you respond to unauthorized discounts before they snowball into lost bookings. Do build a rate control response system. Don't just monitor, decide how you'll respond. Create a process that separates acceptable strategic rate differences from unauthorized violations. Set escalation paths, assign responsibility, and agree on response times with your team and contracted partners. And do implement disciplined promotional rate management. Now, promotions are powerful, but only in controlled circumstances. Every campaign should have a start date, an end date, and a closure checklist. Document who is responsible for closing rates across the PMS, the channel manager, extra nets if you use them, so you never leave an old deal live by accident. And now, what to avoid? Avoid multiple manual rate updates across different systems. Stop letting different team members update different channels separately. This guarantees misalignments and creates disparities that weaken your strategy. Updates must flow automatically through your integrated technology stack. Avoid working with too many wholesale partners. The more middlemen you work with, the more leakage you will face. Keep your wholesale partnerships limited to those who provide transparency and respect your rate controls. Fewer high quality partners will always outperform a fragmented network. Now, avoid ignoring rate plan availability mismatches. Don't allow rate plans to appear in some systems but not others without a deliberate reason. If a corporate rate exists in your PMS, make sure it's properly mirrored in connected systems where it should display or deliberately exclude it. Otherwise, you create accidental disparities. Fourth one is to avoid accepting vague contract terms with distribution partners. Never accept contracts that leave room for interpretation. Spell out your rate strategy, promotional approval processes, and policies on unauthorized discounts. If it's not clear in writing, assume it'll be used against you. Lastly, avoid reactive rate control management. Don't wait until guests complain or until you stumble on a disparity by accident. That's too late. Proactive monitoring is the only way to protect your rates, catching issues before they affect bookings or brand trust. Now, let's step back and wrap up. Rate control isn't a box ticking exercise, clearly. It's about protecting your pricing strategy and defending your revenue. For a 100-room hotel at 70% occupancy, even a 1% improvement in rate control could translate to $25,000 or more a year. For a 5-hotel group, that could be about $150,000 and more. And those numbers are before you factor in the brand damage avoided when guests stop finding cheaper rates elsewhere. So here's where I'd focus. Fix what's internal first: your rate plan alignment, your internal integrations, and your promotional discipline. Then layer on monitoring to catch the external violations you can't fully prevent. That combination is what separates hotels constantly playing defense from those who run their distribution on their own terms. If you take just one action this week, make it a full audit. Check your alignment, verify your integrations, and review your wholesale partnerships. Because every unauthorized discount is revenue walking straight out of the door. Hotels that master this balance, from solid foundations to sophisticated monitoring, are the ones that will thrive in today's complex distribution environment. Now, if you found this breakdown useful, please do subscribe for more insights. And I'd like to hear from you as well. What's your biggest rate control challenge? It's time to stop playing defense and start taking control of your distribution strategy.